Every time you touch me, I can't control my body. Oh, baby, you are on my mind. All I think about, and I don't wanna stop.
From dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the real zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another podcast with Conversation with Trent and friends on the B2G Unity TV. That's Butterfly, Evolution, and Tail Kennedy Media combined for better TV together. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Tonight we got a good one tonight. It's a hot one, it's a spicy one. I think Coach Dee was very excited about this one tonight. We'll find out why. But the topic is, how many past partners are considered one too many? How many past partners are considered one too many? Thank you guys for tuning into the B2G Unity TV network right here on b2gunitytv.com. Really appreciate you guys who are tuning in live. Appreciate you guys on Facebook, on YouTube, and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Let's get Coach Dee in. Let's get right in. Coach Dee.
Hey, how's it going?
Actually, I was laughing at you in the back studio there.
Oh.
I clicked you in. You didn't see me because you actually ordered some stuff for Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier he was using my laptop for Minecraft, and he had the volume off. And I never looked until afterwards. I'm like, why hasn't Trent shown up? And then I was like, oh, that's why.
It was so hilarious because you guys look like so much alike. You guys are twins. So he was like, he says, what's my options?
Yeah.
No, that was cool. That was cool. Real cool.
He's ordering,
How you doing, man?
Pokemon cards and,
Gotcha. How you feeling tonight?
I am still sick.
Ah.
And I somehow pulled my quad muscle because I work from home, and I turned and pulled my quad muscle. So now I'm sick with COVID and can't walk on one leg. So I'm just falling apart.
Let's say hi to the folks and get back to this topic. So that topic, well, we said we're going to do it we said we're going to do it. But how many past partners are considered one too many? Just like that drink. How many drinks is one too many drinks before you get going there? Say hi to the folks here.
So we have
what up, Slash?
Martine. Oh, do you want to go ahead or do you want me to do it?
No, you go ahead. You fine.
Oh. So Martine saying, hey, y'all. And Slash Grand Rising Melanated people. Greetings, Princess Coach Dee and Mr. Epic. Good evening to the viewers and listeners. Good evening to you two both.
There you go. What up, my favorite Detroit? What up, Slash? Good stuff. Good stuff. So, how many past partners are one too many? Now, surprisingly, per Psychology Today, the evidence of a double standard is not so much. I said that in the beginning because I knew you were going to say something. You can actually healthy debate that, I'm more than sure. But surprisingly, per Psychology Today, there's a little evidence of double standards in that category, that is. What's your thoughts?
I think Psychology Today is out to lunch. But they have a niche. Because I read Psychology Today, so I know they have a niche market.
Exactly.
So within their market, that may be very true because it's more people who are more informed about things. But outside of their niche market, yeah.
We'll get to the key points, but a total of 2 to 3 partners was detailed, with the decline thereafter, and a preference for some experience over no experience.
Mm-hmm.
Key points. A study asked participants to rate their willingness to date someone based on their number of previous sexual partners. Number 2, a total of, again, 2 or 3 partners was ideal, with a decline thereafter, and therefore the preference of experience, going one with the other. The third one is the study found little evidence of sexual double standards. Sexual double standards, little evidence. So how many is high? How many is too high in your thoughts?
Well, the average person, they're saying between 2015 and 2019, for
Correct.
women was 4.3 and men it was 6.3. Now, I was looking on social media, so I checked out IG and TikTok and all this good stuff, and I found a complete double standard. So,
how did I know you? And this is why I brought this up, because I know you so well. I knew you were going to say that.
Mm-hmm. Because I looked to see why there's the difference. So with like Healthline said, the average number, women are generally more flexible than men when it comes to partners' sexual history. And women say that more than 15 is too many, and men say 14 or less. So 15 does tend to be the ideal number for both. Now
14 or 15, yeah.
Yeah. So, however, if you go to social media and look at some of these talking heads, what they're saying a woman who has more than 2 is used up. Yeah, gotcha. It's like some of these relationship coaches.
Right.
And I use that in quote because I wouldn't send a dog to relationship advice from them.
I see how, Sal.
Yeah, that if a woman has more than 2 partners, she's used up, or if she's given birth, she's no longer valid. Her market rate has dropped.
Right, and I can agree with that because I talk to a lot of brothers and they don't like the high body count. But for me, personally, then I'll get into back to the numbers. But for me personally, my track record is horrible with that, and I don't even want to make that a topic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I really don't want to talk about that. And honestly, I'm a realist. I care not to bring stuff up that I know is going to haunt me later. So I have no interest in torturing myself by knowing how many guys have penetrated this woman. I have no interest in that. Zero interest. And who am I to be sitting on a high judge of panels, on a high, panel of judges, and be judging a woman about, oh man, you got like 5 sex partners in your past? Oh, I can't deal with that. Come on, the nerve of me to.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I've never wanted to know. Never. I never wanted to talk about, hey, what's your body count? Never, not at all. Because I don't want to bring up my body count because they run for me if I tell them my body count.
Yeah. So
be honest.
Before I continue, let me get into, because Alvin joined us. So he said, hi, Alvin.
What up, Al?
Martine says it's always been a double standard, always. There are some people who are turned on by a busy back booty. And these guys come from a place where they have a loose mom. They themselves have multiple children with multiple women.
Right.
And she's like, get tested together and grow forward. So here's the thing that I found, which shocked the living daylights out of me, is that there are a group of men who are unaware about female genitalia at all. Like they aren't aware that women urinate and give birth from separate holes.
Ladies and gentlemen, sound like Coach Dee has walked in with the shits. Let's go.
Go
ahead.
And that if that wasn't enough to shock me, they actually thought that the vagina did not bounce back after childbirth, and that women are loose because they've given birth. And I'm like, wow. Do these people not know it's a muscle? And that the reason the woman is loose is because one is either one of 2 things. One, she's thoroughly lubricated, which is what's supposed to happen. Or 2, you're too small. You're not working with the.
Let's be honest and fair. And to the average guy, he won't know that. You cannot beat that up. It sounds good, but you can't do it. You cannot beat that up. You can't bruise it up. You can't do none of that. You can't do that. But it sounds good. It sounds good on paper when you're writing it down or when you're telling it to her, like, oh, girl, I'm going to beat that. You can't beat that up.
Well, let me shock
That's
you.
reality.
If you go to the dentist and you've completed fetish oral type things,
Go
the
ahead.
dentist will know because of the bruising in the back of your throat. So if you have a dentist appointment, don't be giving blowjobs the day before. The dentist will know.
Wait, Coach D, you came in hot tonight, huh?
I told you this subject because I talked to so many people who are completely unaware of how female bodies work.
Right.
And most of them are men. Some women who have no clue how their bodies work either. And I went down this whole, because I'm sick at home and I could not do anything except lay in bed, I went down this whole rabbit hole of purity balls and
Hey, look like Slash coming at me again. What is he saying?
What's Slash say? Will the real Mr. Epic please stand up? Oh, he told on himself, Slash, this time. He did say his numbers were high.
And Slash, honestly, Slash know my numbers are high. He know that high, so I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be asking those type of questions because I know my background, I know my track record. So that's something that I've never wanted to discuss. Once I got over Romello, I did not want to talk about that no more. If you notice, every time Shannon brought it up on the show, I was always uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Always uncomfortable, but I really don't want to talk about it because I know my track record. So I have no interest in going backwards on those numbers.
I see no validity in knowing a number anyway. It doesn't affect who somebody is.
Exactly.
It affects their sexual freedom. And a number here may be completely different if somebody's from a different country.
Exactly.
The United States has a tendency to be a little bit prudish. Let's be honest. Yeah. And after I saw this purity ball thing, I was like, man, I actually had to call some friends who are in those areas, and I was like, is this a real thing? They're like, yeah. Yeah,
unfortunately, Romello's escapades cross borders, several. So I have no interest in knowing what my future girlfriend or woman or whoever, whoever she is. I don't need to know that because I don't want to know mine.
Martine says, guys think that the title of the JJ that she's not a. Can we say that word?
Wait, go ahead, say it. Hey, you know what? We can't say it because this is the B2G Unity TV independently owned platform.
All right.
Go ahead.
So I'll say the full comment then. Guys think that the title of the JJ that she's not a whore. The dentist, I'm one below now. The dentist can see the roof of your mouth and how the veins are pushed in on a certain direction. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a good friend I know who went to dental school told me that. After Valentine's Day, dentists say they notice the V-Day activity, and there's no need to discuss your sexual past as long as you're going to get tested.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
But to sit there and discuss numbers.
Yeah, that's not cool. Yeah. What was Slash saying again? Slash is being a little extra tonight.
No, he said after Valentine's Day, dentists can say they notice the V-Day activity. Yeah. Go look it up on social media. Do TikTok dentists, and they'll be able to tell you. They will admit that they know.
Yeah. But I've never found the need to indulge in that and whatnot because honestly, I believe that that's not important if you're moving forward. Again, those numbers are not important if you're moving forward, and that goes for her and for him. That's not important on either side. If you're moving forward, why are you even looking back at the numbers? Well, there's no growth in that.
Here's another number for you. Men who have there was a study done in 2014 that males who had more than 20 female sexual partners had a decreased risk of prostate cancer.
Wait, one more time? What's about that?
Males that had more than 20 female sexual partners had a decreased risk of prostate cancer. And for LGBT community, males that have more than 20 male sexual partners have an increased risk of prostate cancer.
Oh, wow. So I might be safe, huh?
I don't know about that.
You said a male having over 20.
Yeah. If you have more than 20 female partners, you increase. But if you're a male with more than 20 male partners, it's backwards. Increase.
So what you
is
say?
more
Wait.
than
So
20
what you? So
male,
you're saying?
decrease is more female.
So you're saying if I have more, it's an increased chance that I'll have it?
No, because let me read it again so I don't confuse anybody. Males who have more than 20 female sexual partners had a decreased risk of prostate cancer, and males with more than 20 male sexual partners have an increased risk of prostate cancer.
I get checked every 5 years. So the last 5 years I was good. It's coming up in 2 years. So I should be good again.
At your age, you should be getting checked every couple of years, not every 5
Not
years.
my next one is like 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always tell people make sure you do your yearly checks, male and
Yeah.
female.
Absolutely.
Martine says, there are a few of us women who don't mind polyamory. Yep, that's a whole other conversation. Is polyamory, because there's a
Absolutely.
lot of consent required.
Absolutely.
What? Only a link asked about your numbers. I'm not sure what that means.
So let's get back to these numbers with these guys, right? The next one is: do men care about body count? As far as psychology today, it says that for men, the preferred option between low and high body counts is low. Men don't care too much about the experience. Instead, they associate value with the women with a low body count. December 22.
So yeah, but let's go back to where the whole value in virginity comes from.
Go ahead.
It's because women were deemed as property, and a lot of the time women were married off for financial benefit to the family. So there was a value placed on she had not been with anybody, and you're the first.
Gotcha.
Even now, you'll see. I think there was a couple years ago, a woman auctioned off her virginity, and there was a guy he like $350,000 or something like that for the honor of being the first. But it's like any commodity. Once it's no longer necessary as a trade, then the value drops. There's no reason to place a value on it anymore. Like a public company and a private company. So
But honestly,
no longer in the stock market.
Exactly. Let's go back to that. And I'm totally against the whole thing about the moral thing, whatever. If she have a whole high body count, all this stuff. I just as far as to me, that's just judging people, man. It's like everybody. I mean, at this age, everybody at least got at least over 5. Come on. Let's
Well,
be
at our
real.
age, I would think so. But people like to judge.
Yeah.
People like to judge.
So yeah, and they do. I do. A lot of guys do associate value with women with low body counts. She still could be the scum of the earth and have a low body count. Let's just be clear.
And we could lie about it.
Exactly.
Like, come on. If men actually think that our genitalia pulses by itself, you'd be cool to know that we can control that.
Exactly.
So we get to a whole different conversation, though.
Exactly. So per psychology today, again, it says, what's a body count? What's a good body count for a girl? They're saying between 4 and 8. It's a good body count is 4 and 8. To me, that's logical thinking to these numbers here, because I can see that 4 to 8 part. I mean, I wouldn't cringe at that.
You know what? I spent 18 years in the Army, and I know those boys didn't give a darn hootin' about anybody's body count.
They really don't, because they're not gonna ask. That's not the first thing they're gonna ask. They worried about they worried about penetrating. That's exactly what they're worried about.
So you know,
I'm worried about that.
And people ask me like, "Well, gee, how do you know so much about what men think?" I'm like, you spend hours on a gun platform, and your crew is mostly guys. There's 7 of you. You're together 24/7. You got really nothing else to talk about.
Exactly.
We're not talking about the weather. We're going to complain about how long it's taking us to fire ammo and all kinds of BS, and inevitably somebody is going to talk about their weekend, who did what, and all this stuff. And,
I think we get past the the actual emotion of it, because that's all it is.
It's
The emotion, I can't believe. Like, nah, man, just get past that. We're adults here. We're adulting, right?
yeah.
Get
It's
past
all
the numbers.
yeah. It's all about ego. Martine says some lame dudes will whine and cry about it. Yeah, we'll be totally honest about the amount of sexual partners. Only a punk bitch asks about numbers, and guys who have a stepdad judge single mothers, which is dumb. Yeah, any man who judges single mothers, I'm like, well, how'd she become a single mother? And you
Wow.
know, there's somebody else there involved.
Right,
But
right.
here's the thing: when it comes to sexual partners, when it comes to sex in general,
Mm-hmm.
people are so not. I don't want to say prudish, very standoffish to actually have deep discussions about it. Like people don't talk about preferences, they don't talk about likes, dislikes. If
Right,
anything is outside of the vanilla community of girl on top or missionary, then
right.
oh my god, you're a freak, and you know,
And again, wouldn't you say that when people are reluctant to speaking about stuff like that, they're afraid of people seeing them, really seeing them?
yeah,
That's some type of
it's a
insecurity
mask.
trait there.
It's a mask. There's very few people, except there is a specific group that's not attracted to either male or female, but that's a whole different thing. But there's very
Right,
few people who are not sexual in some form.
right.
So to say that, well, I'm not interested in sex, I'm like, why are you saying that? What's behind that?
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of trauma behind sex as well. Like 1 in 3 women are sexually assaulted or molested in their lifetime. One
Oh,
in
look, like
three.
Martine said, she has no problem with something. What's she saying?
I don't have any problem with having that discussion. Yeah, like you
Good
talk
stuff.
about like polyamory or the BDSM community, nudist communities, all that stuff. There's all kinds of consent required in all of those communities, and
Right,
people
right, right.
who are looking in don't understand that because they see things that are different and they're not comfortable with it.
I mean, once we get past the whole judgment thing on people, like, hey, man, if that's where you are with it, and I'm not there, hey, you keep that on your side of the fence. We still good. You
Yeah.
keep it on your side of the fence. We good.
Hmm.
Talk about it and keep it moving.
Yeah. Like most people don't realize that the only way to access a man's G spot is through his anus.
Coach D.
I'm telling you, and men do not like people will get all upset. I'm like, listen, when you look at the human body, this is facts. That's
Yeah,
all there is to it. They don't know where their own G spot is, and they can't find women's G spot. Most of them
talking
can find
like
clitoris if there was a map.
you speaking like that. That's the Canadian D. I remember.
Yeah, it is. There's sadly when I see I should never gone down this rabbit hole because it just horrified me. Like there was men who didn't know that a woman cannot hold in a period. There was
Right.
other men that thought that women only had periods once every 4 years and that
Wow.
it's unnatural to have one. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, so when you talk about sexual numbers, I'm like, these people don't even know how women's bodies work, let
Right.
alone numbers. It's
I'm
crazy.
seeing that capitalized sex in Martine's comment
Martine
all the
says,
way from over here.
I enjoy sex and totally need to have a connection with a dude to enjoy it. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
some people you do, some not everybody does. Some people can have a non-connect, just a one night stand where it's just a fulfilling a sexual need and that's it.
Pretty much.
Everybody has their own thing that they enjoy, things that they don't enjoy, and stuff like
Right.
that. The problem is most people aren't free to discuss it with their sexual partner.
Right. And which I think is weird. Like, shouldn't that be the person that you really want to be open with?
Well, you look
And
at we live in a country where sex is deemed as immoral. Sex education is not taught in schools to the level it should be.
right,
We have purity balls for crying out loud. Still,
exactly.
we have.
She follows up.
Yeah,
Let's see.
she said it's not easy for me to do random sex. No,
Nah.
and there might be somebody else who says, "Yeah, I don't need a connection." So
Right.
it's all personal preference. What works for that individual person? And I tell people you should know what works for you, because if you
That's
don't
right.
know what works for you, then are you going to be able to tell anybody else what works for you?
That's right.
Right?
You're absolutely right.
But yeah, numbers are an ego thing.
I totally agree. So, I mean, like, and then speaking to the guys at this point right here, you know, if you're troubled by numbers and all that stuff, that's something you need to talk about with yourself first before you even, you know, go to having a conversation with a woman like that, and having that type of conversation with her. Something you need to speak with yourself about, because at this stage in life, you shouldn't be worried about those type of numbers. I mean, if she's a pawn star, I mean, come on, you shouldn't even have a conversation with her at this point. If you know you spooked on numbers and all that stuff, but in the average conversation, the average situation, you know, I say, you know, have that conversation and move on. If it's too high for you, just keep it moving. Just try not to judge.
And Slash says, "Ayo, Mr. Epic, didn't know you were seeking a new political career." SMDH. Martine says, "I prefer to discuss my dislikes with a man that I'm considering having any sex act with." Yeah, I think Slash calling you out there today.
He calling me out today, but Slash knows my background, and he know that I'm not gonna talk about it. He know always cringe when that stuff is brought up. So I'm not gonna. Well, my woman, I'm not gonna do it.
You were a tramp, and we all know it, basically, right?
Pretty much. So
there we go. It's out in the open. But so yeah, numbers, ego is where it gets in, because people have placed so much value on virginity and like this faux virility, where if you're a woman and you don't have a high number, then you're worth more than a woman who does. But here's the question though I asked. I said, so one person, what's the difference between a woman having one sexual partner for 40 years, having sex 3 times a week, and having 20 sexual partners once a week?
It's true. Same hole, same person.
Math ain't mathin'.
Same hole, same person. But I got a question for Slash. So, Slash, would it offend you or bother you if a woman was troubled by your body count? Would it offend you or bother you if a woman was troubled by your body count? Say, hey, you know what's smart? This is not for me. You know, I care about you, but I just can't go forward because it's one too many for me. Yeah. Would that offend you, and would that bother you by her having a problem with your body count?
Yeah, and Martine says, what about people who are very sexual but celibate? Is that strange? No, not at all.
No, it's not strange at all.
Let me, because in these days, there's lots of toys that you can use where you can release your sexual needs where you don't need another person.
Right.
And that would be considered celibate. Now let's talk about people who call themselves abstinent, but they're doing everything except penetration. That's not abstinence or celibacy. So let's just get that clear. That's just people playing games.
Let's get to Slash comment, then we'll get to we'll talk about it.
Back to Slash says, let's take it back to high school. Let's talk about reputations. No one wanted to be with the senior quarterback. Now the girl that gave top to the cornerbacks. What's that mean?
Pretty much what he's saying, that if the girl dealt with somebody on the star quarterback on the football team, but she was dealing with the cornerback. Did he say cornerback or?
He said no one wanted to be with the senior quarterback. Wasn't that the guy everybody wanted to date?
I would think so. I'm kind of lost on that one.
Now the girl that gave top to the cornerbacks. Slash, can you reword that, please? I'm confused.
Read it for me, and let me see if I can catch it.
He says, let's take it back to high school. Let's talk about reputation.
Talk about
reputation. No one wanted to be with the senior QB. Now the girl that gave top to the cornerbacks.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost.
He says, hell no, that's life. Both men and women can have standards. Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, that's life. Both men and women can have standards.
I agree.
That's in reference to the abstinence, or
I totally agree. But what I'm saying, Slash, is me personally, I don't bring it up because I have a serious background with that said topic. So that's why I don't bring it up, because my numbers are ridiculous. It's not,
and I ask
I'm
people
uncomfortable with those numbers. To be
I
honest
ask
with you.
people why it matters. Prince calls it head.
What do you say now?
He said Prince calls it head. Are we referring to the girl that gives top to the quarterback? Sir, you need to keep it all in one comment, because it's not making sense to me. I'm sorry, I'm confused now. Martine says, I'm so celibate I haven't had a kiss or anything. Okay, that would be
Wow.
celibate.
Okay, Martine. Okay, all right.
But he's not going to come to your living room, either, Martine, so, Well, they can, but I think that's illegal. If you're soliciting.
Yeah, I've been celibate for the last 3 years.
No, I am not. So but here's the thing. Celibacy and abstinence is a choice as well. So there are people who remain abstinent until marriage. Good for them. That's their choice. And
Right.
I tell people, don't ever feel pressured because you haven't done something. Because nowadays people will be like, look down upon somebody who has values and standards where they won't. And it's very double-sided. Because you can't look down on somebody who has standards or hasn't, and still look down on somebody who has. Like, you have to pick a side.
I see Slash is coming up. What did he say? Let's see.
Tap equals head. So, Mr. Epic, now you're ashamed of your conquest? Top equals head. Well, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's shame. I would just say that it's a lot, man, and I don't want that conversation. I mean, what if the girl? What if she into the body count? You know what I'm saying? So let's just not even talk about that. As long as I'm healthy, we go to the doctor, I'm straight, we good.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that numbers are important at this stage in life.
No, I would have to agree. Martine says, let me get out. I'm going to get out soon. Let me achieve my goals first. Let me get a few things in order. I want to be able to buy a round of drinks. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I'm all for standards and boundaries and putting.
But at this age, let's be fair. Let's keep it a buck, and let's be fair. At this stage, them things get hot. And you got to scratch that itch.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. Like Martine says, some people are turned on by a freak, and some people are turned off by it.
So what's considered a freak, Martine? In your opinion?
Slash says, women have always shot down men for reputation alone, no facts, just feelings. I have yet to see a man shot down for a reputation, but
Wait, he says women have been shot down for reputation? Men have been shot down for reputation?
He says women have always shot down men for reputation alone, not facts, just feelings. Reputation as being a dog, like
honestly, in my experience, I found that more women were attracted to me that I had multiple women.
Right.
Because I truly believe still to this day, no woman don't want a man who another woman don't have. I truly believe that. Women are kind of wired different like that. No, and again, I'll say it again. No woman wants no man that other women don't want or have.
Mm-hmm.
Women are wired different like that.
I don't think it's so much we don't want to teach you how to do it, because it's exhausting. You know? And Martine says there's no point in time where two people need to discuss their count. There really isn't. Like, as long as you go and get tested and you're healthy and you get tested on a regular basis, you're fine. But
Slash challenging us tonight. I like this. Go ahead. What do you say?
Is tonight talking about hookup culture, situationships, courting, and marriage? No, it's all about numbers.
It's about numbers tonight. Something that you love. Slash is about numbers. So I truly don't, honestly, and here's another thing where Slash and I are agreeing to disagree on this said topic here, because I truly don't think it's important. I really don't. I cannot even talk about it, with the woman of interest with me. That's just where I'm at, and at this stage in life.
Yeah. And Martine says, well, some folks think a person who's been promiscuous are freaks. Not necessarily. The old saying is watch out for Catholic schoolgirls. Okay? Lady, and what's the other saying? Everybody wants a lady in the street, and
a hole in the sheets.
Hole in the sheet. There we go. Thank you. I couldn't remember what the other word was.
Betty, right.
And here's the thing. When it comes down to it, if people are honest with each other and they're having deep conversations, like, you could discuss the number, but the number shouldn't mean anything.
And for me, I prefer a little seasoned. I don't want no woman getting into bed with me and she don't know what to do with the pickle. I have no interest in that. That's a complete turn off for me. So come with a little experience.
They know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Okay. Makes sense.
Slash
says, women want a man with experience. He summed it up perfectly. Women crave bad experienced boys. They want to see if the reputation is true, how to be a player. No, it's not about seeing if the reputation is true. It's about wasting our time with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing.
Now, I'm going to have to agree with him on this one, though, Coach Dee.
Oh, you can agree. As a woman, I can tell you we don't want to waste our time.
So let me now look. Now I'm going to ask you a question. This is completely unorthodox for us too, but I mean, folks know that we were together. Mm-hmm. So, were you more interested in me back in the day because of my reputation, or what?
I never asked you your number because it doesn't matter to me.
No, you didn't. You didn't at all.
It's irrelevant information because it my ego is not concerned about how many somebody slept with.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's because how can I do this without saying egotistical? I know what my abilities are and my skill set, so I wasn't really concerned about somebody else.
I like how you made that sound so very professional. Your skill set.
Yeah. So,
I gotcha.
But here's the thing. Where's it? No, I move up.
What he say? I see him calling one name. What did he say?
After that, Martine said, I've been promiscuous, and in my opinion, whether I've had 5 or 35 men.
Hey, did you see Slash calling me out tonight?
And then Slash says, no interest, Mr. Epic. Stop the
cap.
Oh, cap. Talking in emojis now. And then Martine says, I want a man who's interested in making me feel good by touching me mentally, physically, and spiritually. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, it's the thing is Martine says, why are you, Mark, trying to blow Trent's past up? So here's the thing. If somebody is if they're solely focused on the past, they're not really as focused on the future as they should be.
Right.
So you should have a conversation of what is holding them back, that there is that much concern. Because I would expect that the two of those two people will be going to get tested together.
Exactly.
Because you don't go and get tested.
So the numbers don't even, no matter if the both of you are placing everything on the table and you guys are going to the doctor together, getting tested together, then you moving forward, should be good. So the numbers shouldn't even matter if everything comes back. Hey, everything's good. Y'all should be humping like dogs after that. Let's keep it a buck. So the numbers go clean is out the window at that point. Who cares? We both clean. Well, let's go get some. Let's go get moist. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just so into adulting at this point, man. Like let's adult and let's just say what it is.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, at this age, we all get hot right now at this point. If the wind blows, it's just hot. Straight up. Even with my condition, I wake up with it on my mind sometimes. Let's just be real. Let's just be real.
Well,
So at this point, I'm not even interested in the one that I'm interested in. I don't care about her numbers. I care about, hey, is she healthy?
Yeah.
If she healthy, I'm gonna eat it up like some cookies. Period.
But there's always going to be someone who's going to be focused on the numbers.
Yeah.
And if they are, then you ask them why they're focused on the numbers. What is in their background that causes the number to be a primary focus? Is it religious? Is it health? What is the meaning behind why the number has so much value?
That's true. That's true. Slash on one tonight. I love it.
Slash says the topic can't be put into just numbers. It has to have parameters. In casual dating, I agree. Who cares? Studies have shown that new partners sleeping with at least one partner. Yeah.
Yeah.
If casual dating is usually, if it does end up in dating, I don't know what's just the difference in it in a relationship. You know, casual dating or relationship, if the numbers matter that much that you would actually not date somebody because of a number, then you have to look at what your bias is on that. What's the meaning behind why you are.
Right. Let's dig a little deeper. Yeah, I get it.
And Kathy Dye just came on. Hi, Kathy.
What's up, Kathy? North Carolina.
Numbers shouldn't matter. However, if the conversation happens, just be truthful about it. Yeah. There's no reason why.
I agree with that. But Kathy, here's a question for you, right? If you and we go to the doctor, right, and everything's a green light, why should it matter? My batting average is pretty high. Why should it matter? For what? What reason? Why? If everything works out, everything got a clean bill of health. Now it's time to get to the moistness. Why should it matter? Why bring more toxic stuff into the relationship that's not even there? Why even torture yourself with worrying about my body count? Then now your insecurity's creeping in. Now it's gonna be a whole nother subject while we're laying in bed doing some pillow talking. Hey Trent, you said you dealt with some girl over in Rocky Mount. Isn't that a couple of cities over from me? She's in Rocky Mount. I was like, yeah, but why should it matter? I got a clean bill of health. Let's get down to the moistness. So why bring the insecurity into the relationship when it's not there?
I think in some cases, some people worry about that those people may come back.
Again, insecurity creeping in, right?
Yep.
And for me, that would be a problem for me and my partner because, girl, why are you talking about that? I let the girl at Rocky Mount many moons ago. So why are you even talking about this one? But you did put up on my mind. Let me see if I can get out of this Rolodex.
See, you're just wrong for that.
I'm just, hey, this is life. This is life, right?
Right.
Kathy just put her on my mind. So I'm going through that old Rolodex. I'm dusting it off. Oh, she's coming back. What's she saying?
She says, what matters if you're clean? I'm good. That's a requirement, period. Yep. I agree. That should definitely be a requirement.
Exactly. So why should the numbers even matter at that point? If I'm clean, I'm clean.
Yeah. Bring Martine's comment up. It says, unless a person feeling compelled to tell you about their sex life, some people have only been one person. In my opinion, once they come across the scent of someone else, it can be disturbing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Read that again so I can break it down real quick.
Said, unless a person's feeling compelled to tell you about their sex life, some people have only been with one person, and in my opinion, once they come across the scent of someone else, it can be disturbing.
I get that, but here's my point. If you're bringing that up, Martine, if you're bringing that up, and you've only been with that one person, but You talking about this body count, but you really into me. You really into me. You talk about this body count, and I give you the real. Then you run away. You have the right to run away, even though I have a clean bill of health. You have a right to run away. You just walked out on you forever because of your issue with the whole body count. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that this is why I said in the beginning, opening the show, I do not discuss numbers because I have a track record. And I don't do that because, and I honestly, I do that to save the person that I'm interested in because I don't want insecurity creeping into her and she's worried about, well, I wonder if he's going to get sued. I wonder if he's going to get married. I wonder if he's going to call Kim. I wonder if he's going to, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want, I'm doing that to actually, I'm doing you a favor. I'm saving you at this point. Not even talking about it to creep insecurity into something that maybe possibly be great. Mm-hmm. So this is why I don't want to talk about it. I might be working on something good with you.
Right.
You getting ready to ruin it, ask me about Paula from 75. I'm just saying.
Yep. Martine said, why people try to bring up stuff from the 80s and 90s anyway? Good question.
Exactly.
Slash says, in conversation with a potential partner, and I hear she had a 304 phase. It's whole phase, right? Like
yeah.
Jackson says, that a no for me, dog. I'm not trying to be laid up. That's known everywhere we go, especially if she's not. Okay.
So again, Slash, did you answer my question, Slash? I like this, Slash. I like this combative thing that you got going on with me right here tonight. So
he's usually fighting me.
Exactly. He's all on me tonight. So my question to you, Slash, is would you be offended if your number happened to be high and you really into this woman, but she's actually, it's a no for her dealing with you because you got one too many? Would you be offended or would you be hurt because you're really into her? Just ask it. So did you guys catch what I was saying? The reason why I don't bring it up because I don't want insecurity to creep into the relationship in the beginning stages. That means that's me giving you my number is gonna ruin everything because you're gonna look at me totally different. Your insecurity gonna pop up and you're gonna be worried about. You know, I tell you guys something funny, right? Let's get to that comment real quick, and I'll talk about the conversation I had with my brother.
So Slash says Beyonce, Mary, or Serena. Then Slash says, plus, as I always say, I'm not buying a car without a weekend test drive and a Carfax. Martine says, probably so, but what I'm talking about is the one who's never been with more than one partner and they discover that they're attracted to another.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
We're human beings. That's quite normal.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So let's get to this conversation, then we'll get to Slash comment after this conversation I had with my brother. So my brother and I were talking, and he had a conversation with his significant other, right? About my past and about Greg's past, and we were pretty much out there like that, and it wasn't surprising that if we met a female here in the city, that we were with her friend.
Okay.
It was just like that, right? So little did she know that he was like that as well. She got a bunch of friends who he's been around and been very cordial with, but here's the thing. She started asking him and he started giving her answers, and she didn't like the answers that she was giving. They still together, they have a wonderful relationship, but now that thought is in the back of our mind, like, damn, you screwed a couple of my friends. Even before they were together. But she started asking questions off the reputation of myself and Greg's to him. To come to find out that he was just like me and Greg. But he'd never talked about it.
Yeah, most of the ones who don't talk are the worst.
Pretty much.
Always watch out for the quiet person in the room because they know more than they're letting on.
Pretty much. So you see where I'm going with this, guys? She opened that can of worms.
Mm-hmm.
Now she can't get the cap on thinking about it in her own head.
Yeah. I know some people, I've gone to their weddings where they think their wife was the purest, most ladylike thing, and I'm like, honey, I went to college with her. If you only knew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys something funny. You talk about weddings, right? I have an ex that recently got married, like literally a couple of days ago. And as I'm strolling through looking at these pictures and looking at the happy couple, and I'm hey, congratulations, by the way. But I was just talking to her maybe a week and a half ago, and she was talking about Valentine's Day gifts from me. I chuckled at it because I'm like, wow, okay. That's funny. I wonder if he knows this. But again, just like you said, it struck a thought with me when you said that. Like, you really don't know. You go down the aisle saying I do. You really don't know what that conversation with someone else with last night. You don't know who that was with. You don't know what it was about. So why even ask? Somebody's gonna always, like I say all the time, we all come with some shit.
Oh yeah.
It depends on if we're gonna bring the shovel to shovel it along our path, and can we go the distance?
Yeah. If somebody says they don't, they're lying.
One more time.
If somebody says they don't, they are lying.
Exactly.
And I always tell people, if somebody says all of their ex-girlfriends or all their ex-boyfriends were crazy, chances are that common denominator is them who made them all crazy.
Pretty much.
Because
it looked like they piled up there.
Yeah.
Slash is on. He's on one tonight. I love it.
Oh no, what's Slash saying now? I answered that. Hell no. Both men and women can have standards, morals, and principles. Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. I expect everybody to have standards, morals, principles, and boundaries.
Absolutely. Martine says.
She said, discover another person's scent or the sound of their voice in some way that may be difficult for that person to function. I don't know about that. That sounds like a codependent situation.
Break it down.
So if that person causes you to not be able to do your like normal stuff, or where you're like constantly focused on them, or you have to talk to them 24/7, that's a codependent relationship. There's codependency involved there that you have to work on because it's not healthy.
Right.
It feels really healthy because it feels like you're getting a lot of what's the word I'm thinking of? A lot of attention is coming back to you. But here's what happens is once that person drops that you're codependent with, once they drop that attention, you spiral quickly.
Exactly.
Because you put so much emphasis on them.
She has a follow-up comment.
Yeah, Martine says, I know women and men who no matter where they go, they'll bump into somebody they've slept with.
Pretty much.
Good Lord. Yeah.
Pretty much.
I have some friends like that.
But again, and I want to stress this to these guys, man. Again, if you don't want to talk about it, if you don't want to relive my past by being insecure about my past, don't bring it up. Don't bring the number thing up, because I'm telling you off top, we're not going to talk about it because it's going to be a problem for you. I guarantee it will.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it will. So wouldn't you rather me say, hey, I'm being honest with you, but if you really want that brutal honesty, can you handle it? Can you go the distance with me when you find out that I've been around the world twice? Can you go the distance with me? Can you bring along that shovel for the shit that I'm carrying? I'm clean. I mean, super clean. We've gone to the doctor and, let's get moist. Then we go on. But can you carry that shovel and go the distance with me? Because now at this point, once you learn all of this stuff about me, now it's your mess, not mine, because you took it from me.
So bring Slash comment up.
Slash is on one.
I'm just glad he's picking on somebody else for a change. Slash says, being you've traveled and covered a lot of ground, Mr. Epic, even Priest Akeem sowed his royal oats. women want a man with experience. We all know that the man is 40-year-old virgin. That's just a movie. There's some men out there who are 40-year-old virgins.
But I don't know any. But yeah, okay. I don't know any, but yeah.
See, here's the thing. That's a whole different rabbit hole.
Right.
Because nine times out of 10, if it's not a religious reason, it's because
Absolutely.
They don't like women.
Exactly.
That's
a red flag.
I don't mean in an LGBTQ kind of way. I don't mean that they're
I got you.
I mean they're attracted to women, but they don't like women.
I got you. I totally get it. I get it.
And then Martine says we can go to the doctor together and grow from there. Yeah. Like here's the thing.
I love that.
Numbers.
I love that. And grow from there. She said grow from there. Not go from there. Grow from there. I love that.
Yeah. Numbers are just numbers. Like you could have somebody, like I said earlier, the math doesn't work out. If you have somebody who's with one person, but they have sex with that person 7 times a week.
Hey, Splash, let me find out somebody's over there. You got a professional typist over there.
Slash says, that man is called a nerd, treated as an outcast, laughed at and ridiculed. Strangely tonight I haven't heard Mr. Epic catchphrase, when the sweat dries. He's using the word moist a lot, though, which is...
Yeah. No, I used the word when the sweat dries years ago at a conference I spoke at Memphis. Good looking, Slash. I see you.
Yeah, so the thing is there's a whole group, and they have names and everything.
Right.
I think they're called incel, INCEL. Is a term that's used for them, and it's like it's crazy when you go down that rabbit hole. Some of the things they think about women.
Right. So. Right, but you know what I mean. Again, man. You know what time is it? About 3
minutes.
Yeah. My teachable moment. Let's get to the teachable moment real quick.
Mm-hmm.
My teachable moment for the night would be, hey man, numbers don't matter. And then if we do, we are talking about numbers. Some of us lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. I'm quoting the great GZ. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
It's true. My teachable for the moment is what your number is does not define who you are. Always practice safe sex, wrap it up, get tested, and take care of yourself health-wise.
Exactly.
If you're going to be risky, then make sure that you have birth control or Plan B or options available for you to take care of any issues.
Exactly. Well, we thank you guys for always tuning in. A couple of announcements here before I get out of here. I'll be on with Tammy's What's Your Story right here on the B2G Unity TV network at 7 on Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, I'll be telling my story, sharing my story with Tammy's audience right here on the B2G Unity TV. The whole paralyzed situation, the whole recovery, the whole, motivational speaker, years pass and all that stuff, all these tragedies back and forth, all that stuff within life. I'll be talking about that on What's Your Story with Tammy on Tuesday at 7, right here on B2G Unity TV. Good stuff.
2 more comments to fill it out. Martine says, teachable heart, teachable moment. Live, love, keep safe, and be happy. And then Slash, going to end the night with another one. So, Mr. Epic, would you turn in your epicness if you could turn back the hands of time?
I wouldn't, because everything that I've gone through, everything that I've done, have shaped me into the person that I am today. And I would not trade not one mistake, not one triumph, not one failure. I wouldn't trade it in because it shaped to who I am today.
Is this a one part? What?
Is this a one-parter? Now, I think we should do a two-parter.
A two-parter?
What you think?
Because
you did mention something we could have dug a little deeper on.
What's that?
About guys not knowing the woman's anatomy and always seem to
Oh
I
my
have it
God,
wrong.
we could go down that rabbit hole. It's a deep one.
It'll be fun.
Some of the things are shocking. What people don't know about their own anatomy.
Exactly.
Or
Then we can educate the brothers and hey, probably educate me at the same time. So I'm
yeah,
always up for good learning.
let's do it. We can talk about circumcision and genitalia.
We can definitely
Have
do
our
that.
own little health class.
Exactly. We can definitely do that. Definitely do that. Hey man, it's been a real good one again. Martine for the last one. Let's see what you talk about.
Martine, if you're blessed enough to meet someone who accepts you as you are, clap your hands, give thanks. Some men just want to bang, bang, bang.
Absolutely.
And Kathy comes back with whoop whoop, can you hit the G spot?
Wait, what she say?
Whoop whoop, can you hit that G spot?
That's fun.
That's how we end the night. There we go.
That's how we end the night. So appreciate you guys for tuning in and all the engagement, man. Really appreciate it. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys for actually hanging here with Coach Dee and I on the network. And if you guys, again, I want to make another announcement here. If you guys, I know that Tammy and I were doing some research earlier, and it is broadcasting on the fan page, Conversation with Trent fan page, but on other event pages on Facebook, they're blocking us. That tells me that we're getting to the money at this point. They're blocking us at this point. So I have to physically go in and hit the go live on the invite page. And that's not how it used to be. So with them blocking us like that, that says we're getting to the money at this point. So which is good. So how we're going to actually combat that, if you guys do not want to go onto Facebook, go to b2gunitytv.com. Watch us live every single week. Find Coach Dee and I every single week live from the website, from the platform, from the Roku stick. And the anniversary of the incident is actually on the 26th. We'll be launching on the Fire Stick.
That's tomorrow.
So watch us live, man. Watch us live. So you don't have to do it on Facebook anymore. You don't have to do it on YouTube no more. Go straight to b2gunitytv.com. Watch us live. Coach Dee and I be there every single week, Wednesdays and Thursdays. Also get her meditations, man. Get them there. And right now they're free of charge. It's all good in the neighborhood.
I'll add some more meditations as well.
Gotcha. It's all good in the neighborhood. We really appreciate you guys. And hey, man, it's all way up from here, like Dee said. So
have a great night, and we'll have our sex ed class on Sunday. Fun time for all.
You guys be epic.
All right, love you guys. Bye.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.